All right, Biblical DNA here, and today I got some exciting news. The Egypt Genome Project. Now, this project is going to deal with modern samples and ancient samples, as 200 ancient Egyptian mummies. Now, these mummies are those royal mummies from Tutankhamun, Akhenaten, Ramses III. They're going over all of those samples again. We have the recently launched Egyptian Genome Project aims to sequence genomic variants of 100,000 apparently healthy Egyptian adults, with around 8,000 individuals suspected to have a genetic disease, as well as 200 ancient Egyptian mummies. The project will provide the first comprehensive genomic data set from Egypt, North Africa. I already scanned this article. I'm going to read my highlighted parts. If you want this article, just hit me up. I got you. It says Egypt is located at the crossroads of the three old continents, Africa, Asia, and Europe, and has a hugely diversified and multicultural population of more than 100 million. Egypt is believed to be the main route through which humans exited Africa. Egypt is also characterized by a rich cultural background, as reflected in written and illustrated history over the past 5,000 years. It has the highest number of well-preserved and historically verified mummified human remains extending over thousands of years, from which ancient DNA can be reliably extracted and analyzed. I don't know. I think they should have paused on that one because, as we know from the past experience, that hasn't been the case. So that one's kind of suspect, but I'll take their word for it. Another objective is to investigate how the Egyptian gene pool has changed through history by studying the genomes of ancient Egyptians. Now, this is the one that I'm most excited for because I want to know for sure. I've said it in the past, and I want to be proven to be correct that modern day Egyptians are genetically the closest genetically to the ancient Egyptian. That's what I want to know. It says, now this whole paragraph is pretty good because it's talking about the 20,000 healthy and the 8,000 with diseases and whatnot. But we have here, in parallel, the genomes of 200 ancient Egyptians, mostly royal mummies, reflecting a wide range of ancient Egyptian history, will also be sequenced. Now, this is going to consist of some time. Now, this ain't going to be right away. This started in 2022, which makes sense because the emails that I brought to y'all back in 2022, from 2022, then it says for the ones, the whole genome for the modern day and the diseases and whatnot, that's going to be 2032. So it's not going to be next month. It's not going to be next year. You know what I'm saying? It could be all the way in 2032 that we really get a lot of this stuff, or 2027. So we're just going to have to hold our horses. Now, I will say this. Ancient Egyptian DNA will be released within this year to next year, 2025. I put my word on. I put everything on it. It's already been partially released, leaked. So you can say leaked, but more DNA will come out like you'll see what I'm talking about. This is the board of directors they got, and this is the ancient genome. As you can see, the ancient Egyptian genome, anthropological studies. So they're going to actually go into, who these people were, where were their origins, where did they come from, what diseases they had also. We got finally for analysis of ancient DNA, a specialized laboratory at the National Museum of Egyptian Civilization, NMEC, in Cairo, has been established to handle Egyptian mummies and extract process DNA for sequencing. The time frame for these specimens is anticipated to range from the 18th dynasty of ancient Egypt, periods of Greco-Roman influence, circa 1550 BC to 395 AD. This chronological span ensures a comprehensive study of significant historical transitions within the context of ancient Egypt. Sampling will be performed with all the necessary precautions to avoid any potential harm to the ancient precious, I don't know about all that, precious specimens and the quality assurance criteria needed to minimize contamination during sample collection as previously recommended. Now, I will say to this, if it's contaminated back in like 1890, then what? Or if it's contaminated back in like 1200 BCE or whenever, then what? I don't know about all of that like contamination. They're gonna have to prove that it wasn't contaminated from ancient times. Not just modern times, but ancient times too. That's very important. That's something that I want to see. And the big thing is, I would like to see this actually uploaded to two specific websites. I'm gonna get those to you towards the end of this video. There's two websites specifically that I question if they're going to be uploaded to publicly. And I have it in the description box of the two websites I'm talking about. A second backup laboratory is operational at the Egyptian National Museum in Cairo. It was previously used to study the ancestry and pathology of the family of King Tutankhamun. With regard to the analysis of ancient Egyptian DNA, the project is anticipated to not only provide new insights into ancient Egyptian life, but also fill in knowledge gaps in the fields of anthropology, archaeology, evolution, and history. We believe that Egypt, with its rich and anthropological, historical, contemporary context, is in a unique position to provide a new perspective on the human genome or genomic heritage. I 100% agree. Now, there was something else I didn't highlight. I just thought it was important to share. It's talking about like the crossroads of where Egypt lies. I think it's this bottom one right here. We predict that yep, that's it. All right. It says we predict right here. Highlight this. We predict that the Egypt Genome Project will have a huge impact at the national, regional, and global levels, as it will yield the first comprehensive genomic dataset from Egypt and North Africa, and will thus add diversity and depth of coverage to the currently available African ancestry genomes and global database. These data will further contribute to the global understanding of human evolution and in depth linking of African and European ancestries, especially as Egypt is an important geographic and genomic link as the putative gateway of the out of Africa diaspora. Woo! That's exciting, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, it's very exciting. And The databases I'm talking about, give me one second. I got y'all. There's two databases that I'm speaking about. Uh, up to work. Let me go ahead and read these ones real fast. All right, this is the website for Egyptian Genome Project, Science for a Better Future. Introduction. And now this is Dr. Yehazi Gad right here. This is the one that I emailed the previous years and whatnot. This is him. You know, he probably got tired of the emails, you know, but of pushing, you know, promoting of redoing those ancient DNA samples. I find that so ironic. It's finally going to take place, and people don't know about it. Like I'm on a Twitter and telling people about this stuff. They probably had no idea who I am. Like never heard of my YouTube channel or anything like that. Didn't know that. Yes, I was emailing Yahi Z Gad on my university email and whatnot. So he knows my real name, like my face and everything. So I just find it so ironic that this is finally gonna come out. But their website's pretty cool. I like this. Like it looked like they put some money into this. Like person that designed this, they did a hell of a good job. Like it's pretty dope. I like it how they have the little layout. Science for a better future. The human genome is the basic blueprint that is enlarged, responsible for all human biologic behavior in health and disease. It's pretty cool how they have this introduction. Look at that. That's pretty dope. I was impressed when I saw this. I'm like, okay, okay. I see y'all Egypt. Y'all stepping up y'all game. Y'all put some money into this. I got that funding, that cha-ching funding come y'all way. Look at this, y'all. This is pretty dope. And this link is in the description box, so you can go to and read everything. They have some videos, but they haven't translated the videos, so you can listen to them speak. I think is Dr. Gas speaks. Howard speaks. Y'all favorite speaks. There's a few other people that speaks in the video, but it's in Arabic, so I can't understand it. So I can understand a few words, but not like that. I only know basic words. I don't know Arabic like that. Integrity, confidentiality, respect, efficiency, accuracy, teamwork, ethical standards. The accuracy is the one. That's the core value I want them to be legit on in integrity. Because they're gonna have to come out a way to flip all the stuff that they previously had, the studies, and be like, well, we had limited data and limited resources. So we said it came out to be this during those times, but now it's this because we have next generation sequence. It's gonna be pretty interesting to see how they flip that. I'm gonna be impressed. I'm really gonna be impressed. Collaborators sector. So this is the whole team that's going to be responsible for this Egyptian Genome Project. Sponsor. Who else is bringing y'all this now? Who else is bringing y'all this? This is me. Like I'm bringing y'all this. I don't know anybody else is bringing y'all this. Pretty dope though. Very informative. The Emirates Genetic Diseases Egyptian Genome, a promising project for the Arab region. Dr. Mariam Matar, president of the Emirates Society for Genetic Diseases, considered that the Dubai reference genome for Egyptians and ancient Egyptians, which is based on the responsibility of an international research team with Egyptian genetic genes, represents a promising project and a national wealth for all Arab countries, stressing that the scientific benefit of the project is not limited to Egypt alone. She explained that, and by the way, this is translated, so that's the reason why it looks the way it looks. If you don't know that, that's translated from Arabic. She explained that revealing the details of the Egyptian Genome Project at Expo Dubai came under the generous patronage of His Excellency Sheikh Nahim bin Marwah Al Nahim, Minister of Tolerance and Coexistence and the Supreme President of the Emirates Society for Genetic Diseases, was organized by the Egyptian Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research in partnership with the Sheikh Zayed Research Center, Genetic, and in the presence of Her Excellency Assa bint Issa Bu Ahmed, Minister of Community Development, Sir Professor Magdi Yacob, international heart surgeon, and a group of scientific figures, which is a great indication of the importance of the project idea to humanity. All right, Matar added that the Egyptian genome is one of the largest research projects in the country, and its scientific returns are expected to be great for the entire region through organizing the public health and health care system, as well as developing medical sciences and new industries that are concerned with increasing the ability to provide genomic services in the field, healthcare within Egypt, and developing genetic detriments for early diagnosis and prediction of diseases common among Egyptians. Pointed out that the research project leads to reducing the cost of medical care, improving the quality of health of Egyptians, especially future generations, in addition to developing a genetic map for diseases in Egypt and leading to the ability to develop sound nutritional health habits to prevent diseases, which is greatly reflected in reducing the cost. Healthcare and opening the door to applying gene therapy in curable diseases. Regarding the importance of the Egyptian project for the Arab region, she said that the benefit will spread to the Arab countries because of our participation in many genetic bases and our sharing of the same environment and direct and indirect conditions that greatly affect the work of genes and the manufacture of proteins through epigenetic science. Therefore, the Genome Project is considered Al-Masri, is a promising project for the entire region. Whew. All right. Trying to get this not trying to stay here that long. I don't like my videos go too long. Right now I'm sitting at, so this is another good article. Egypt establishes first biobank unit in the Middle Africa, published back in the link is in the description for a little. Thought it was in. All right, this is from the paper, the supplementary information on heterogeneity and Paleolithic population continuity and Neolithic expansion into North Africa. I want to show y'all something real quick about Egyptian or admixture. Now, see, with people that are really mixed, it's kind of hard. Like people like me, for example, it's really hard when it comes to their DNA, like to say exactly what what you exactly belong to because you're so mixed. But from what I can see, is Egyptians, they have like a southern or like Southern European amongst them. They have the Anatolian, Neolithic Anatolian is the orange right here. that's considered to be what is that? The Mesolithic or Epipaleolithic? Yeah, Epipaleolithic Ibero-Maurusians. Gray is European Mesolithic, something like that. Neolithic, Chalcolithic. All right. The blue, that light shaded blue, is Middle Eastern. I see the Bedouins carry it at a high percentage. It's all spread out the Middle East. And then we see a portion of their DNA is linked to Nilotic people in Bhuti. And then we see the black portion is Yoruba, Sub-Saharan African. So let me see if I can zoom in for that one. Gotta show y'all that oh, here. All right, I did my own admixture on Vahadul. These are the samples I used from Spain Step, Cameroon, the Malta sample, Greece Neolithic, Hungary, late Neolithic, Iran, historic, the Ganj, Italy, Central Neolithic, Ibero-Maurusian, Serbia, Iron Gates, Mesolithic, Ratin. I figured that one's an important one specifically since the Bible, you know, this is biblical DNA. So if anything, they have to share some DNA with the Ratins. Turkey Neolithic, Yemeniya, Sicily Neolithic, Iraq, pre-Pottery Neolithic A. Now this sample was released on the genomic studies of the Southern Arc, and then we have Jordan pre-Pottery Neolithic B. Now this sample was interesting because I wanted to use Natufians, but this sample right there is the best one to use. They're all the Egyptian samples from Coptic, basic Egyptian. I don't know. Usually, like Palestinians, it's either Palestinian, Christian, or Muslim, or whatnot. But this one's just Coptic and Egyptian. These are the distances for the samples. I showed the ancient two samples because I figured most people want to see the distances for those, and that's what it came up to be. These definitely could be closer. I believe there's but like I said, it's when it comes to people that's mixed, as much as you mix, your DNA is just gonna be all over the place. So hence the distances. But it could be too that there's like a ghost population in Northeast Africa that we don't know about that could actually help the distance, explain the distance. So the ancient Egyptians could be like from a different population in Northeast Africa that was separated from the Tufians and the Israel pre-pottery Neolithic B, Jordan pre-pottery Neolithic B. I did notice that the Coptic samples were closer to those Neolithic 17 samples. That this Egyptian was just far away from all of them. There we go. You can see what I'm talking about with the Egyptian cops. These were the admixture that I got for those samples. All right, and this is what y'all really want to see. So the majority of their DNA, it looks like, is between the Iraq pre-Proto-Neolithic A and Jordan pre-Proto-Neolithic B. Now, the Israel pre-Proto-Neolithic B is pretty much the same as the Israel or the Jordan pre-Proto-Neolithic B, but what I saw is this one was the better sample. And the Natufian, I was either going to use the Natufian or this one. I just figured to use just this one because it was the best one out of the two. So that one. Well, on average, we see 33.9% for the Iraq pre-Neolithic B and 32.95% for the Jordan pre-Neolithic. So, my bad. The pre-Neolithic A and pre-Neolithic B. Now the Ethiopian, the Malta sample, and the Epipaleolithic Ibero-Mauritian. Check this out. They're pretty much identical amongst them. 9.6 and 9.5. So you can clearly see an admixture event occurred with North Africans and Sub-Saharan Africans. We also see the Iranian historic presence amongst them at 3.5%. And the Turkey Neolithic at 3.1%. And look, the Ratian sample, check this out, y'all. It's pretty frequent amongst them, though. 1.8%. So, hey, it was a good reason to use that sample. And for the rest, y'all can look for yourselves, read it for yourselves. I'm going to scroll it down. Let me get those two websites before I cut y'all off. Yeah, man, this is pretty exciting. So I really believe this is exciting information. All right, so these are the two websites right here I'm talking about. Right, and I was responding to Mohammed Abdullah Hadi, pretty popular when it comes to Egyptian DNA, obviously being an Egyptian himself, made publicly available and uploaded to either NCBI or the Euro. Let me go ahead and open these. Y'all can see. So when they do ancient DNA samples in scientific research, the DNA, the samples are uploaded to um, either or. It could be both. The National Library of Medicine, National Center for Biotechnology Information, or European Nucleotide Archive. And so this is what I want to know. I want to know if they're going to actually publicly upload samples of the royal mummies. That's Tutankhamun. That's Akhenaten. That's Ramses III. I want to know. I want to see all of that be publicly published, so other researchers, other archaeologists can say, hey, these samples in other studies are genetically similar to these samples in Egypt. I think that would be fantastic. I think that's what's missing. Also, I think we need an ancient sample from Northeast Africa. I believe the Natufians and the pre-Neolithic B and the Levant are great, but I think we need to actually have more samples in Egypt. I think, and like, I really think that they should try to work on that. There has to be something there that we're missing. Maybe a Nile hunter-gatherer Neolithic. I think that would be great. But this is what it's all about, though. I think this is great. They got the funding to be able to do this. This is phenomenal. I'm looking forward to it. And you know what can I say? I can't wait for this to come out. I mean, this is awesome. You know, hey, this website is legit. What can I say? All right, this is Biblical DNA. I'm out. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this content.